It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Denver Broncos, and it's all up next.
Just across I-25 from downtown Denver, the usual 76,000 fans have made their way to Philip Power Field at Mile High, the home of the Broncos. So good to have you with us, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson with you. And we've got a couple of teams, Greg, that can make it happen with the defensive front. That's going to be a huge focus on this game.
With the importance of the passing game in today's NFL, Mike, you know how great it is to be able to disrupt that timing and throw off the quarterback's rhythm. And no better way to do that than by being able to get after him, especially with your defensive line. You don't have to blitz. You don't have to bring a fifth rusher. Keep that secondary intact. If this defensive line can cause havoc in the pocket for this quarterback, it's going to go a long way towards slowing down what's been a very good offense.
For veteran Chris Boswell, ready to get things going. And off we go from Denver. Here's Smith to return it. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The Broncos led by the rookie, quarterback Bo Nix, out of Oregon, the rookie, the last of the quarterbacks taken in the first round, number 12 overall. Been around, he's 24 years old, but the rookie runs it for the Broncos.
And we've continued to see the young quarterback, Mike, just continue to get used to the speed of the game. And I think that's the biggest thing you hear young quarterbacks talk about coming out of the college ranks. Regardless how good you were in college or what level you played at, there is a big jump in just the speed and the intensity in the NFL, and the quarterbacks that get caught up to that speed the quickest have...
Oh, what an inauspicious start. It's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott.
I think you chalk this one up, Mike, to just a rookie mistake, and anytime you have a young signal caller behind center, you're going to have to deal with some of these ups and downs. Every once in a while, they're just not going to see the coverage. They're going to get baited into making a bad throw. That's kind of par for the course. The key is how fast can these rookie quarterbacks turn the page, move on, and not make the same mistake again.
The Steelers led out by their quarterback, Russell Wilson. Still strange to not see him in a Seattle uniform where he was for a decade, a couple of years with the Broncos. And now Greg, the 9-time Pro Bowler, year 1 in Pittsburgh.
Dream situation here for your first possession of the game, Mike. You go from sitting on the bench thinking you got a couple minutes before you got to take the field. Defense comes away with a huge takeaway on the opening snap of the game. Now, in this sudden change, can you come away with points? Can you reward the defense for creating the turnover and get yourselves out to an early lead?
Wilson gonna throw right away. Down inside the 10. He is in. Van Jefferson. Touchdown, Steelers.
This is a great decision by the quarterback. You can see, Mike, he's trying to push this ball downfield and pick up a big completion in the air, but with the amount of depth the defense was getting, his best option was the check down, the underneath short throw, and just say, hey, pick up this rest of this gain with your legs after the catch. And fortunately for this quarterback, this short throw is going to go down in the box score as a touchdown.
Chris Boswell on for the point after. He's got it, and the Steelers will take a 7-0 lead. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Here's Smith to return it. A good return as he takes it across the 30. The Broncos offense going to take over now for the second time. They had that pick on the opening drive. It led to a touchdown. So 7-0 the deficit as they get the ball back. 1st and 10. First and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Nix. He's got the tight end, that's Greg Dulcich. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down.
These are the play calls, Mike, that offensive coordinators use to just get their quarterback and their passing game into some sort of rhythm. Easy pitch and catch, get the ball out of his hand, see a completion. These typically, as the game goes on, lead to bigger and bigger gains.
Off he goes. And Nix with the wise move there at the end, sliding to a stop, but he's got the 1st down. It's a gain of 10, and they'll get a fresh set of downs.
I love this call, Mike. 2nd down and short. One of the best downs in football to take a shot. Give credit to the defense. They were ready for it, but a nice job by the quarterback, realizing there's nothing downfield. Take off, turn into a runner, pick up the 1st down.
And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
And a nice pickup there by the back with an explosive run play. And it's important to point out, Mike, this offensive play caller, he's still working off that opening script. It doesn't necessarily have to just be the first possession. Using formations, using run game and pass. Unmask the defense and understand where to take the play calling as the game unfolds. You know, Mike, nice job here by the quarterback, just understanding on these early downs, you just don't want to go backwards. So he's able to avoid the negative play, pick up a little bit, and mostly avoid the sack.
Here's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, here's Nix. Laying out, and he made the catch. What a play. The 1st-round pick looking right at home in this offense. It's a 1st down.
With wide receivers, I think we spend so much time talking about their speed and their route running, and of course that's critical, but the ability to not only catch the ball, but to concentrate on the bad throws. We used to have a saying, you get paid to catch the bad ones, and
he'll take it on in. Marvin Mims. Touchdown, Denver.
And this is what good offenses in the NFL do, Mike. It's the ability to bounce back, even if the onset of the game doesn't go exactly according to plan. Everybody wants to take their opening possession and go down there and come away with a touchdown. But it's not always going to be perfect. You turn it over on possession 1. What are you going to do in response on possession 2? Well, we just got our answer, and they took it down for 6.
Will Lutz now for the PAT. The kick is good. And the Broncos will tie things up at 7-7 here in the opening quarter. So back to level after the touchdown, and time for the kickoff. It's a return. Here comes Calvin Austin. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Steelers offense about ready to get going on their 2nd possession. All even here in this opening quarter. And the drive will begin with 1st down. From the shotgun, Wilson. That's complete. Calvin Austin. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
Not a whole lot complicated about this play, Mike. That was understanding where the holes of the defense were, Remember, in this zone coverage, you got to find green grass, get past the first down marker, be friendly to the quarterback, and then the ball has to be out on time before those zone defenders can react to the receiver. It's exactly how it played out here. You can drop all the fancy plays you want, but when the quarterback and the receiver see it through the same set of eyes, it's virtually impossible to stop. This is one of those throws where I don't think the risk is worth the reward. If you're going to throw the ball into tight coverage and take a chance, it better lead to a big gain, and in this case, a pretty modest pickup, considering that was a risky throw.
And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing third down.
He's usually such a reliable target in the passing game, Mike. We just don't see him struggle to come down with catches like that all too often. And when you're one of the go-to guys on your team, I know the hit's coming, but guess what? It feels a lot better after you take that hit after a catch than it does after a drop.
That's 2 catches on this drive. This one for 10 yards and a first down.
This may look like a simple connection, Mike, just pitch and catch, but I can promise you the amount of time these two guys have spent together on the practice field, in the meeting rooms, just getting on the same page, seeing the game through the same set of eyes, it makes what's pretty difficult seem a lot easier.
They'll run it for the first time with Najee Harris. And he's taken down on what should be the final play of this first quarter. A touchdown apiece here in the first quarter of play. Pair of 7s on the scoreboard. Greg and I back in Denver in just a moment. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Russ. That's to the right side and incomplete. He was looking for George Pickens there. 3rd down coming up.
This is why it's so critical that the quarterback and his intended target are on the same page. They got to speak the same language. When there's miscommunication, it leads to errant throws, and when errant throws lead to big missed opportunities.
On 3rd down, here's Wilson. He's got his tight end. That's Freiermuth. That's catch 3 just on this drive, and it gets his team a first down.
3rd down is when we see so many tight ends around the league really make their money. They operate in the middle of the field. They're a big, easy target for the quarterback, and even if they are covered, Mike, they're not really ever covered.
They're going to run out of the gun, and here's Harris. It'll be a short pickup down to the 22. The linebacker, Jonathan Cooper, on the tackle. Here's a 2nd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Russ. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
Sometimes it's those footsteps. I don't care how long you've been playing or at what level you've been playing at. When that defender's bearing down, you really get a good idea of what guys are willing to go through contact to secure a catch, and in this case, what guys are unwilling.
Got his man at the 6. And he's very close to a touchdown. They mark him just shy of the goal line.
I love the way the ball's been moving around to different guys this drive, Mike. I mean, it really keeps the defense guessing and off balance. And now this defense is going to have to figure out how to keep this offense out of the end zone because it's 1st and goal.
This has been some kind of march downfield now. Can they pay it off with 6? It's 1st and goal. And that big offensive line, clearing space. He's in. Najee Harris. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Good drive. They kept the ball. Greg, they moved it effectively down the field and finished it off on the ground for the touchdown.
So often, Mike, we see teams work on a great drive to get down here close, only to settle for a field goal. But in this case, give them a lot of credit. They put a great drive together, but they're able to capitalize and finish it off with 6.
On for the extra point is Boswell. It's up and good. And the Steelers will move out to a 14-7 lead. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Here's Smith to return it. And a solid run back there. He'll get this out past the 30-yard line. The Broncos offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. They trail here by a touchdown as this drive will start with a first down. They'll start this on the ground. It's Williams. And that'll be a pickup of 3. Second and 7. They'll throw. It's Nix. And he's going to be taken down as we hit the 2-minute warning here in this first half. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. Halftime is looming, so the athletic training staff going to get a chance to look him over during the break. Third and a yard. Play action now. It's Nix. And on third down, that ball incomplete. Cortland Sutton, the intended receiver, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
And barring an aggressive decision here on 4th down, it just seemed like a really wasted possession to go 3 and out, not able to pick up a single first down. Not only do you not able to gain any field position advantage, it really takes a lot of the wind out of your sails as you find yourself jogging off the field and the punt team coming on.
Here comes the Pittsburgh offense now, heading back onto the field. They lead by a touchdown as this drive begins with 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Wilson. And they're going to mark him down right at the 30-yard line.
This is such a critical moment in the game, that middle 4 minutes, the final 2 minutes of the first half, and then the possession to come out of the halftime break. So maximizing this possession here before halftime is critical. See if you can get a drive starter. See if you can get an easy completion to kickstart a 2-minute mode. And that's what they got here. Now they got to see if they can go down and steal some points.
After the catch, he gets that forward for a gain of 9.
So the hope is when you call these underneath drag routes, you're trying to have your tight end come out the backside of the defense in space. So when you put the ball on him early, it leads to big yards after the catch. In this case, they don't get the real big play they were hoping for, but they'll definitely take it.
And that one knocked away. It's incomplete.
Throughout this entire game, we've really seen this quarterback operate very efficiently, not only being able to spread the ball to multiple playmakers, Mike, but really complete a high percentage of his passes. So can't let that last incomplete break what's been a really nice rhythm so far.
On 3rd and 1, Wilson. He's got his man. It's Jefferson. And he will have the first down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8. Again, Wilson. That's caught by the tight end, Darnell Washington. And they're going to work this down inside the 45. Following the completion, we'll get a stoppage here for an injured player. Halftime is looming, so the athletic training staff going to get a chance to look him over during the break. A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. To throw again is Wilson. He'll get that complete. It's George Pickens. That's another first down, another big play. The defense has some issues. Gain of 18.
There's a reason certain guys, Mike, just always seem to be open. It's really because route running is more art than it is science. How do you manipulate the defense to find open spots or win versus man to create separation and earn the trust of your quarterback?
Throwing again. Wilson. Off-balance throw. It's complete. That's his third catch of this first half and good enough for a first down.
I'm not sure what was the more difficult aspect of the play, winning his route versus man coverage or catching this pass, because that quarterback, he put a little extra sauce on that one to get it there on time, and he's able to secure a really nice catch.
And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards. And with just 4 seconds left in the first half, a timeout is called. Here comes Chris Boswell to try a field goal. This, about as short as you can get. Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers going to tack on 3 more, extending the lead here late in the first half.
It's always a little bit of a letdown, Mike. You find yourself deep in the red zone and you have to settle for a short field goal like that. In this case, he's able to put it through, and they get 3.
So 2 seconds left to play, and the kick's away. This one is fielded in the end zone, but he decides not to bring it out. So they'll take over at the 30-yard line. A first down throw for Nix. He'll take a shot with Mims. That's going to be incomplete. They took a shot on the final play. Prayer not answered. And that is how this first half will come to an end.
Okay, Michael, thanks very much. And with that, we welcome you all into our EA Sports studios. This is the Halftime Report. We got a fine first half out of the former Alabama man, Najee Harris. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. The second half, straight ahead. Time to get back to it. And for the call, let's rejoin Mike Tirico and Greg Olsen.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much. We welcome you back. It is quarter number 3. First half played out a bit as we expected. We'll see if there's a surprise coming up. Both teams set to go, and the second half is underway. And the kicking team right there, stopping him before he can get to the 15-yard line. Steelers offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. Their lead is 10. They go back to work, trying to add to it. It begins with first down. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. He's got Freiermuth open on the left side. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards.
There's no more efficient play in the NFL, Mike, than the play-action passing game. And you can see here why. You make the defense have to honor both the run and the pass, and he's able to pick up a nice gain to his tight end.
On second down, a run with Harris. Good running there, getting close to midfield. Let's mark him there. And a first down.
I think this second down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a third down and short. But there's no need for third down. He was able to get enough on second, and they get a fresh set of downs.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for first and 10. They'll give it to Harris again. And he'll get about 5. They'll break the huddle. It's second and 5. Another run here with Harris. And it'll be a pickup of 3. So third down forthcoming. From the gun, it's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete. That's great work to get in there and make things difficult defensively, setting up a fourth down.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out in front.
That's over the middle and taken in. He's got it. And he's going to have the Steelers first down as they wind up getting 13 on fourth down.
Mike, think back to our conversation during the break. We've kind of both asked ourselves, are they content with this double-digit lead? Do they come out and play conservative here in the second half? Well, it took exactly one play to get our answer. They continue to get chunk plays like this. This thing could get out of reach fast.
Now they are in business inside the 15-yard line.
Just seems like every year, Mike, the tight end position just continues to grow within the passing game and establishes a bigger and bigger role. And listen, I know I'm biased, but if you want to have a good passing game, you better have a good tight end.
On the move at the 14-yard line, it's first and 10. That's quickly to Freiermuth on the RPO. And he's in. Pat Freiermuth. Touchdown, Steelers.
You can just see the comfort, Mike, that this offense continues to play with. The early momentum in the first half has carried here after the break, and you can see this group just slowly starting to pull away.
And I'm thinking, Greg, about the guys on the other side. You're waiting at halftime, that other offense waiting to get back on the field. What happens? They come right out, extend the lead, and now the task gets a lot tougher for this second half. Boswell now for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Steelers up their lead. It's now 24-7. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. Here's Smith to return it. Oh, he's got room past the 30. And they will finally get him down, but he gets all the way close to the 40-yard line. The Broncos offense trotting back out for their first involvement of this second half. The deficit is 17, so they got to start cutting into it soon. See if it starts here. 1st and 10. Throwing is Nix. He'll get that to Javonte Williams. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
All right, so there's really 3 areas that a modern NFL running back has to excel at. Number 1, the traditional handoffs. Yes, you have to operate out of the backfield like a traditional running back. Number 2, you have to be excellent and reliable in pass protection, and maybe bigger than all of them, you have to be at least serviceable out of the backfield in the passing game.
And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the 1st down.
We're starting to see this so often, Mike. The days of just having a running back who you're just going to turn around and hand it to, yes, that's still a critical part of NFL offensive football, but their ability to be used in the passing game, just one more thing for the defense to have to defend, make them go sideline to sideline, line of scrimmage to the end zone, defend every blade of grass, and a really good running back goes a long way in doing that.
So, 3 quarters have come and gone. Back with more after the break. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. Here's Nix to throw. He's got it to the tight end, Dulcich. And it'll be a short pickup that's not enough for the 1st down.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground in line, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
And he will have the 1st down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8.
Well, they finally are able to convert on a 3rd down. And Mike, when you look back at a box score, some of the biggest indications of how well the game went, of course, you don't want to turn the ball over. How do you execute in the red zone? And then how are you on 3rd down? 3rd downs typically lead to long drives. Long drives tend to lead to points. It's not a real complicated formula. Stay on the field. The more snaps, the more plays, the better.
Give them 14 on that one. 1st down, Broncos. Working out of the gun, it's Nix. That is knocked away, incomplete. Good coverage there defensively, all over him. And it'll be 2nd down.
They let a golden opportunity slip away on that one. That's the matchup that they wanted. They just couldn't quite capitalize on it.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, here's Nix. He connects. It's in the hands of Reynolds. And they'll work this close to a 1st down, maybe just a tad short. They'll look to pick this up 3rd and a yard. This one caught at the 4. And they're going to have enough to convert here. And it sets up 1st and goal.
Mike, I think we make so much of all these fancy routes, right? The selling, the head fakes, getting in and out of the break. And while that's really important to create separation, that's really more of a man beater. That's when teams want to just play you one-on-one and you have to beat the defender. Against zone defense, like we saw here, it's a lot more simpler. Understand the concept of the play, understand where the holes in the defense are, and get.
And he will take this one across into the end zone. Bo Nix. Touchdown, Broncos. 2 touchdowns for him now on the afternoon. Initially looking to throw it for the touchdown, couldn't find anything, so Greggy takes care of business himself, using his legs for the touchdown.
Well, it was clear early on, Mike, that this defense was expecting the pass, and after matching all the receivers in the end zone, this quarterback realized quickly it was his legs that he was going to need to rely on to get the ball across the goal line.
Here's Lutz now for the extra point. It's up and through. The Broncos back within 10.
Well, we knew, Mike, this was going to take a miracle. All they needed to do was recover this, score, recover another one, score again. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, and this game's all but over.
The Steelers offense and Russell Wilson set to take over once more. Eddie has been in control of this offense. Want to run you through some of the action from earlier on. You've got the 2 touchdown passes, over 200 passing yards. He has been excellent all game long. So they come to the line for first down and 10. Shotgun snap, and they give it to Harris. And he'll get 6 on this one, moving it inside the 40-yard line. They'll come up now for second down and 4. A run. Here's Harris. And he's going to be taken down, and that will take us to the 2-minute warning. You've got to consider this an absolute must-stop defensively. It's third down. They'll try to run for it with Harris. The Broncos going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll discuss what's to come as fourth down is looming. Here comes Chris Boswell to try a field goal. This one from 52 yards away. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Steelers will add to their lead here in the fourth quarter.
And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Here's Smith to return it. Now an opening past the 30. Nice job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line. Back onto the field comes the Denver offense. They'll start it here with a 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. This one taken in by Reynolds. And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on first down. Now, 2nd and 4. Back to throw is Nix. A throw on the run is complete. 18 yards on the pickup there. Good for a Denver first down.
Defense does a nice job here initially using zone coverage to take away the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. Quarterback gets off his first read, sees some openings to the sideline, and him and his receiver are able to connect.
And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards.
The drag route is such a good way to get the ball early into the hands of your tight end and take some pressure off the quarterback and give him an easy completion. The size and the athleticism allows them to try to pick up more yards, but do it after the catch.
Now, a second down throw for Nix. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
Zone route running, Mike, is very simple, right? I mean, everyone wants to complicate offensive football and make it super technical. Once you come off the line of scrimmage after the ball is snapped and you know it's zone coverage, as long as it's sort of in the area the quarterback expects you to be, my rule was just run where they're not. And when he throws it, catch it. Certainly not the biggest play of the day, but a good example of picking up positive yardage, staying ahead of the chains by a well-timed ball and a well-timed route.
Here's second down. To throw is Nix. That is incomplete, so the task gets more difficult. Time for maybe 2 plays. That's it.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, Mike, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
That's going to be incomplete, so no help there. And we're likely down to a final snap.
I like the idea of taking your shot there on third down, pushing the ball downfield, looking for the touchdown. But now as it brings up fourth down, you're already this close. You're in field goal range, but do you keep that offense on the field and try to maintain possession and see if you can come away with 6?
And that is incomplete. They had their chance. They took it there. Look, they're trailing late. Got to let it fly. This will wind up a turnover on downs. So this one, a win for the visiting Steelers. They were the aggressors from the start, able to dictate the pace of play. In the end, they come away with the victory. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say so long, everyone.